After the flood, all of humanity was one. With a single tongue, they found unified power. But this power became a defiant pride. They resolved to build a tower, not to honor God, but to challenge the heavens and make a name for themselves. The Creator descended. With a single decree, he shattered their common voice, turning unity into Babel. This is the story of how language was born, and the world was scattered. Elevate their own status, to be remembered not for their faithfulness to God, but for their architectural marvel. Second, and perhaps more tellingly, they wanted to ensure, otherwise, we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth. This was a direct contradiction to the divine command given to Noah, to be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. They desired to consolidate their power, to remain unified on their terms, defying the very purpose for which they had been preserved. Their unity had become a tool for disobedience. The colossal construction began. Day after day, brick by brick, layer upon layer, the tower rose, a defiant spear aimed at the heavens. The city spread out around its base, a bustling hub of human activity, powered by a single will and a single tongue. Imagine the clamor, the coordinated effort, the proud shouts of accomplishment echoing across the plain, all understood by everyone. But the Creator, whose plans for humanity were far grander and far-reaching than any single city, observed this grand project. The Lord descended, not because he needed to, but to engage with his creation on its own terms. He came down to see the city and the tower the people were building, and he saw clearly the heart of their enterprise. He recognized the immense potential of humanity when unified. If as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, the Lord declared, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. This was not a compliment, but a recognition of their dangerous trajectory. Their united power, unchecked by humility or divine purpose, threatened to lead them down a path of increasing arrogance and self-worship, away from God's intended design. The time had come for intervention. The Lord God, in his wisdom and sovereignty, knew that this unified rebellion, if left unchecked, would only lead to greater and more catastrophic separation from him. So, the divine decree was issued. Come, Let us go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other. Imagine the scene. One moment, clear communication, bustling cooperation. The next, utter chaos. A foreman shouts orders, but the bricklayer hears gibberish. A worker requests mortar, but receives a tool. Suddenly, familiar words become meaningless sounds. Hands gesture wildly. Faces fill with frustration and confusion. The very foundation of their unity, their common tongue, was shattered. The coordination that had propelled their ambitious project forward ground to a halt. Misunderstanding bred anger. Cooperation dissolved into discord. The monumental project became impossible to continue. Because they could no longer communicate, because their common voice was silenced by a cacophony of new, strange sounds, the people stopped building the city. The Lord had achieved his purpose. He scattered them from there over the face of the whole earth. The ambitious tower, abandoned and unfinished, stood as a silent monument to human pride and the consequences of defiance. The city, intended to be a stronghold of unity, became a symbol of disarray. And so, that place was named Babel, for it was there that the Lord confused the language of the whole world. From that day forward, humanity embarked on a new path, divided by speech, scattered across continents, forming distinct nations and cultures. The single stream of humanity branched into countless rivers, each flowing in its own direction, speaking its own tongue. The story of Babel is a profound lesson about the dangers of unchecked human pride, the sovereignty of God's plan, and the enduring legacy of linguistic and cultural diversity that shapes our world even today.